Welcome back to the junk room, everybody. It's me, that Junkman, coming back at you with another video. Oh, sorry if the mic's all in the way. I'm changing some stuff around, so sorry if this mic's in your way. Get over it. What's this video? Well, first it was going to be about me just reminiscing about comic book stores, because I think we're all a fan of comic book stores. Hold on, I'm going to scratch my eye. But then I got a package in the mail, and I decided to turn this into an unboxing video, and then I said, hell, why don't I do both, right? So let's talk a little bit about comic books, comic book stores, while we open a package from a fan. Now again, let's talk about comic book stores. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think I ever went to a comic book store as a kid. I picked up comics at the nickel and dime stores. When I went into town to the local feed store. That's a joke. We didn't have a local feed store. But you know what I'm saying. Went into, you know, some stores had a little comic book section, maybe a spinner rack of comic books, and I would get some there. The only comic book I can remember having is a few of the original Star Wars comics, and mostly the only one I can remember reading was the Return of the Jedi Marvel comics, where they put them all in one comic book. I remember getting that one and reading it. But other than that, as a kid, I never went to a comic book store. The only comic book store I knew of was way on the other side of town, and hey, I'm a kid. I couldn't ride my bicycle to the other side of town, and this is before they had Uber, and nobody was going to take you to the other side of town. There was nothing else on that side of town, so no one was going to take you over there. I guess Bill the perv up the road could have took you, but he wanted way too much in return, so I never let him take me. So let me open this up. This time I did bring a knife. You know, I always don't have a knife, and I have to sit here for 10 minutes trying to rip this thing open, but this time I have a knife. Damn it, it's my dad's comb. Shit. Now I understand why his head was bleeding so much this morning. Let's put this over here. I do have this one. That's not a knife. This is a knife. So let's get in there. But comic book stores, it was really until the late 80s. Actually, probably the very early 90s when I started getting into comic book stores. Man, this thing is taped up good here. There was a local comic book shop in town called Ballpark Novelties, and they mostly sold baseball cards, and I would go in there 92 maybe, somewhere around there, early 90s, and I would buy back issues of the original Star Wars Marvel comics. Yes, I would. You know, look around and everything, but that's what I was going there for those old comic books, those old Star Wars. I'm glad now I bought them, because now they're worth a lot more money. Back then you could get the original Star Wars Marvel comics for $1 or $2. But they've gone up in price. God, I think this guy's got stock in stock, and I think this guy that sent me this has got stock in the tape company. Yeah. I had a knife. What was I saying? Oh, and there was a guy that worked there named David. Pretty good guy. I remember he wore a blue jean jacket with heavy metal buttons all over it. Not buttons, you know, like tour buttons and stuff. I don't know what you call them. Buttons just make, you know, little round buttons and stuff, Megadeth and stuff like that. What I remember, kind of a hippie looking fella, long hair, you know, probably a little older than me, worked there. And I can't remember ever striking up a conversation with him much at that time, but I would come in maybe every weekend. I had a girlfriend at the time that lived close by to that comic book store, so we'd always hit it before we went out to Toys R Us. I don't know what it was about the early 90s. There was really a geek boom, a culture boom, where people were buying vintage old toys and new toys. You know, there were adult collectors now, or semi-adult collectors, you could say. So, you know, I was getting into the comics, and I was starting to buy the Batman animated stuff. And I was starting to get into some of the action figures and stuff. I don't know what started this boom, really. I mean, it was like there was just a group set of, you know, people that was into this stuff at this time that really wasn't into it in the 80s. You didn't really have an action figure adult collector's market back then. But let's see how this box is, like a homemade box here. Let's throw this out of here. But what was I saying? Oh, well, the guy that owned that comic book store, he moved. I think he actually bought the place and moved it down the road and changed the name of Comics Plus. And that's where I fell in love with comic book stores. I mean, and it seemed right around this time there was a comic book store opening up on every corner. I remember we had one inside the mall, inside McCory's, in the back of it. So you had a store, you had a mall with stores, you had a store in the mall, and then you had a little comic book section that wasn't even part of McCory's or whatever it's called. It was just in the back. So, shut up, I'm trying to talk about comic books. Let's see what this is here. And hopefully got your name on it and give you a shout out. So I don't have my email pulled up. No, they covered up his return name. I'll give you a shout out in just a minute, guy. Gotta pull that up here. Yeah. Put another shrimp on the barbie. It'd been made funny if I really took a bite of it. Or jabbed myself in the eye with it. But what was I saying? Oh, so David, who run Ballpark Novelties, bought it, turned it into Comics Plus, moved it down the road to a better location, and him and his partner, a guy that wore penny loafers with no socks. I think his name was Jay. I remember we used to joke around, me and my other buddy, that we would call it, if we had the store, we would call it Jay's Joiner. His name was Jay Joiner, so we said we would call it we said we would call it Joiner's Corner, but not a real funny joke, but funny to us anyway. So what was I saying? Oh, so he took that and him and his partner started selling vintage Star Wars stuff. Now this time I was really getting into vintage Star Wars stuff. I was actually buying and trading them off American Online, or maybe Prodigy at that time, maybe a little bit of both. So that was always cool and kind of fun. I would, you know, it was a lot different buying stuff online. You had to go to these little forums on American Online, send them a check, wait about 6 weeks, and they would send you the figure. It might be what you asked for, it might not be. Oh, check this out, guys. The Power of the Force green cards. Talking 90s, see? Lando on the green card. How about that? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. What was I saying? Oh, so he bought the comic book store, and it was really a lot of fun hanging out down there. And I started buying the comics, and then I would go on American Online and tell people, hey, there's this store where I live that has old vintage stuff. And these people would drive up from Florida, from other states, and buy vintage Star Wars stuff. Like I said, it was hard to find back then. And that got the comic book guy, and I was talking because I was actually in there one time. He asked some guy where he came from, and he said he drove from Florida. And he was like, you drove that far to come up here? And then he was like, how did you find out about it? And I was like, well, that was because of me. And it was. So we kind of struck up a conversation, and over the time, you know, I started kind of working there part-time. Not really an official job, you know. Paid me under the table, you know. So I would help him out with the vintage stuff, matching up guns, matching up weapons. I was starting to get into comic books more at this time too. The death of Superman, Batman breaking his spine and everything. But it was a lot of fun. I would come down there every Thursday when they put Tuesday when they put out the new comics. When they put out the new comics. And oh, look at this little R2. I don't think I've seen this yet. Look at that. But they would put out the new comics, but I wouldn't be there to buy the new comics. I would be there right when the store opened to buy the latest Action Figure News Digest or something. You know, look at this. Oh man, this is great, guys. I have wanted this for a while. Look at this. I'll get some better shots of it too. Oh, got a Jawa and a Pez. I'll open that in a second here. Okay, guys, I changed the angle here so you can see it a little better, but anyway, look at this R2-D2. Look at this. This is going to be fun here. Put him there. Let's see what all the pieces we got. This is awesome, man. This was on my want list, and look at this. Oh, I can't believe you sent me this. This is great. Going to pull up your name in a second. Let's make the R2-D2. Let's see here. Really wanted R2 with 3 legs, so this is going to be a lot of fun. Now, I don't count this as an action figure. People ask me, does that count as an action figure? Not to me, it doesn't. Because you have to make it yourself, right? 3rd leg. See, R2-D2. 3rd leg. Go in there. Look at that. R2-D2 with the 3rd leg. Look at R2 begging for the 3rd leg. Look at him. So we'll put him right there. That's awesome. I wanted that R2 for a long time. Thanks again. Let me pull up his name over here so I can just... There you go. I know I should have planned this stuff better. But what was I talking about? My comic book store, yeah. So he started selling vintage stuff, and I started working down there some, kind of matching up stuff. We went to some toy shows together. You You know, I was kind of like his vintage go-to guy. In fact, his store, he's moved now. He's not in my town, and now he's in St. George, Utah, and it's still called Comics Plus. Really great guy. So if you're in Utah near St. George, go to Comics Plus. Tell him Junkman said you get 10% off. Now I didn't run that by him. I didn't ask him if that was okay, so he might not give it to you. But tell him Junkman said 10% off. That's in St. George, Utah. It's not a paid ad or anything. Just let you know. Let's see where some of these pieces go. I feel like I'm doing that game perfection. Like I gotta hurry before this thing pops up on me here. This is a big piece. No, that goes right there, I guess. Well, maybe that goes here. Maybe that goes here. I'm not more sure where this one goes yet. We'll come back to that one. Hopefully you guys can see this pretty good. So you got the crane. Let me see if I can. Oh no! 3PO, I mean R2, three-legged 3PO, three-legged R2 fell. I used to use this as a ramp for my Hot Wheel cars, but anyway, that's how I kind of fell in love with comic book stores, by going down there. Like I said, I'll help him out, match up stuff and everything, and we would hit some stores, local stores, looking for that don't really fit on there good. If it goes there. We would hit little stores and everything, so we had a really good time. But that's my love for comic book stores. Since then, I've just really I love comic book stores, don't you? They're kind of like the Bat Cave. They're always in some little rundown shopping center. Most of the time, not always. Where do these go? So it's always, you know, you always feel like when you go in there, hey, you're somewhere with cool people. Only the cool people know about this, right? It's not something that everybody knows about. Here's these little tubes and parts. And I'm gonna leave these in the bag because them things are hard to get. It goes right there. Got a couple more legs. Let's see here. I'm guessing all these have got their own compartment, but man, these go up here? I don't know if they go there or not. I guess I could have looked. Get in there. They look like they go there. They fit anyway. Again, I think that goes there. Not sure about this one. Here's some little. Man, I used to play with this when I was a kid. I used to play with this a lot. But yeah, in the comments, let me know what you think about comic book stores. Did you like going to them? Did you go to them as a kid and all that? You know, that kind of started my whole love with the whole comic book thing. I think I said that already, but man, I really don't know where some of these go here. Some of these are R2 parts, so I don't want to take R2 apart. Oh, these go here. Now, if this base looks familiar, they also re-released this with the Power of the Force or Return of the Jedi set with figures, but it really didn't do anything. Wasn't this cool. You know, it's funny. Some of these I remember they go just out of memory. Ain't that weird? Some of them, not all of them, as you can tell. I don't know where these big pieces go. We'll put that right there for now. This is the crane. It goes on here. Oh man, this is awesome. This is awesome. This little flappy thing, I don't really see a design place for it. There's the treads. I don't think I have the tread though. Oh, there's the tread. One tread anyway. There's another tread. I guess it goes on top of it. That's pretty cool. Now where's this little... This thing goes here, I bet. I don't know what that is. It looks like a gaffy stick. So I started getting into the comic book stores right around that time. I think I said that like 20 times already. You know, every time I got some jobs early on that would cause me to be on the road a lot. So always, if I was in a new town or something, I would always check out the local comic shop. Always, man. I guess these don't really have a design place for these. I think that one might go there. I don't know if it's good right there. Not sure where these big pieces go. Are they in parts or something? I don't think so. So we'll just put them. It looks like it's missing some parts, but overall, it looks like it's put together pretty good. I'm gonna have to look and see. Oh, here's another. I know where this leg goes. I just saw that. It goes over here. I feel like I'm doing a big old puzzle here. Get in there, you big furry oak. I don't care what you smell. But Where's this little head dome go? I guess it goes right there. So I can make another droid. I guess that's about it. Look at that. Now let me pull up this guy's name real quick. I'm sorry. Brad Brown. Bad Brown. Bad Brad Brown. Brad Brown. I like that name. Brad Brown. So I want to thank you again, Brad. It means a lot to me, really. This is one of these pieces I've been putting off. It's so hard to find. It's like I said, it's not 100%, but I don't need 100%. A lot of my stuff's not. I just want some things. I don't care. I mean, I try to get it close to 100%, but if it's not 100%, that's fine with me also. Man, he's even got the Jawa gun in here. Come on, Brad Brown. I hope it's okay saying your name. Some people's like, don't say my name. Don't say my whole name. But hopefully the camera's still recording. I got a low power, so I'm just curious what you guys think about comic book shops and everything. Did you go to them as a kid? Did you enjoy them? I wish I did as a kid. I remember we had this place called Comics Castle when I was a kid. Never went there, but I remember they had a commercial. This kid wearing like an Indiana Jones hat, and I remember people thinking it was me. People would be like, "Are you on that comic book commercial?" And I was like, "Whoa, the instructions! Maybe I should have looked at that." Dude's got the instructions. Come on, dude. Who keeps the instructions around? I wonder if this was his when he was a kid. Look at this. The blueprints of all these other droids I can make. Yeah. Okay, looks like these big parts do come apart. Maybe that's why they're in here. Maybe. Looks like somebody tried to glue this one together here. Looks like they colored it too. Brad, did you do that as a kid? Yeah. Looks like these have been kind of glued together. So I don't know, but anyway, let me get the camera. We'll get some better shots here. And like I said, here's the book of how to put it all together. All the weird droids you can make. Got a little hole there. I don't know if that's supposed to be in there or Brad got happy with a hole puncher. Can hang it right there, I guess. There's one of those tubes. These tubes are really hard to find. So I'm going to put the tubes and everything in here so I don't go crazy with it. Let me get up and get the camera and I'll show you this R2 and other stuff up close. Okay guys, let's see here. You don't get to see my... Oh no! The Jawa committed suicide. Here we go. Here's the R2. Look at this, guys. Brad Brown. Think a lot. Sounds like a phony name, but like I said, I've always wanted this R2 here, but I've never really found it, believe it or not. You know, a lot of stuff I find, if I don't find it, you know, in the wild, I won't get it. A lot of stuff, especially when I used to collect it. I just put Jawa next to him. But that's the three-legged R2, as you can see right there. Just comes apart. You just slide the leg up in there. A little wider here than the figure, but overall looks pretty good. Love this guy. I remember having this as a kid. Like I said, I had my Hot Wheels cards or Matchbox run of this, but as you can see, all the grooves where everything goes. Not sure where some of these goes, but see, I think these here are glued together, it looks like. Looks like Brad might have glued them, which is okay. I don't mind. Especially this one. I think I got here. There's the tracks. You got the crane here. Look at this. Got the crane for making. Now, he said he wanted to see it in a video. I don't really have room for it, but I'm going to get another little thing. See, I got this thing here to put stuff on. Oh, you just saw my toilet. Hope nobody was sitting on it. I'm going to get something for this corner over here so I can put some more stuff up. So Brad, if you don't see it yet, don't worry, you will see it. But I guess that goes on top of it. See how these parts just fit in there, like kind of like their attempt at Legos. Look at that. Ain't that pretty cool? Thanks again, Brad. Let me put the camera back over here so I can say my goodbyes. Okay, I'm back. That's what I want to show close. I'm back here with my stuff. Thanks again, Brad Brown. Thank you a lot. It means a lot to me. Lando. Now, in fact, if you're watching this today, right when I upload it, at 7:00 p.m. Eastern on the 21st, is that what we're looking at today? I'm going to do a Hunting for Star Wars live stream where I'm going to go to the comic book store here in town. It's got the same name as the one I used to go to. It's at a different location. The guy used to sold his when he moved to Utah. Another guy bought it, and I think it's been sold since then. And it's just not the same. It's in a different location. It's got a lot of cool stuff, but it just doesn't have that cool factor that the original Comics Plus had. So again, if you're in Utah, St. George, Utah, go in there and tell David, say, Junkman said I could have 10% off anything I wanted. He probably won't give it to you, but just tell him that anyway. You get a kick out of it. Because I hadn't seen him since he moved. So I've talked to him on Facebook some, but he used to have another guy that lived down the road from the comic book store, and he vintage stuff in his. He had like a little side house, like a little garage, and up top he had vintage stuff boxed all up, and G.I. Joe. And I remember he was going to get out of vintage Star Wars because Hasbro was coming out with the new stuff. I don't know what happened to that guy. That guy had a bunch of stuff, man. But I was back then. I was like, I only want loose so I can display it. Now I wish I bought the carded stuff because it's so much. It's worth so much now, you know. I mean, I don't care about value, but hey, if I can buy something cheap and then have it turn value, I can use it to trade in to get more stuff, right? I think that's it. As always, I want to thank Brad Brown. Brad Brown, what a bad mother jamma. I want to thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget 7 o'clock tonight, live stream from the local comic book store and maybe some other places around town also. I think that's about it. Until the next video, we'll talk again. Subscribe to the channel. Thumb up this one so I know you like my content. And I think I already said we'll talk again. But we'll talk again. See ya.
Junkman.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.